Peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who don't know, it's Vic Sling Hope, and today I'm gonna come share a story with y'all about my first night in jail. But before that, if you're new or old, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. This is how YouTube keeps like the stuff circulating and stuff, you know. So don't be stingy with the information and the knowledge, man. Make sure you pass it on and share it. So anyway, back to the story. So the first night in Rikers Island, it was crazy. I witnessed like 3 stabbings, 2 rapes. Like shit was just nah, let me stop. I'm chatting. I ain't witnessed none of that. But it was a little crazy. It was a different transition in my life. It was something new. And I'm not gonna say I wasn't scared. I just think that fear manifests itself in different ways, and I think my fear manifested itself as in like nervousness. Because I knew what I was doing. I knew I was gangbanging, like I knew I was gonna go to jail, prison. I even remember having a meeting with my team and I told them like, yo, I'm gonna go to jail for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? For like gangbanging. And it happened right when I was 18. And to be honest with y'all, I didn't really start getting locked up till I joined the gang, right? And it's like every time I got locked up, like it was like my crimes kept increasing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I was doing crazy shit in the beginning. In the beginning I just turned crip. Like, I wasn't really doing nothing, but I just kept getting locked up for little stupid shit like trespassing. I kept getting little bike tickets. It's almost like God was forewarning me, like slow down, boy, like turn back, like don't go this route. But I didn't listen. I didn't pay attention. So anyway, when the detectives took me to Central Brookings, I remember they was looking at me in my face, right? And they told me like, yeah, we finally got you for a big boy crime now. It was like, and they were saying that because like I mentioned before, like all my crimes were like smaller, right? And like this was like the big boy crime, like, what I'm saying? Like I knew I wasn't going home this time from Central Brookings, you know? So, I'm crip and I'm an adolescent. So I done heard the stories of Rikers Island with the young boys. I also heard stories of like being crip in jail and like, blood started in jail in New York, right? So it's like a whole bunch of bloods in New York. I mean, in jail and in New York, right? So these is like the type of things I was thinking about. But I wasn't really so much worried about like the blood situation because there was a lot of bloods in the street too, right? So it was like I wasn't really worried about the shit, right? But it was just the nervousness. Like I didn't know how it was gonna be. All I know is I heard stories about people getting stabbed. I heard, a whole bunch of shit. So anyway, I finally get to Rikers Island. They do the little intake process, and stuff like that. And then the first thing you do, like, you go to like the infirmary. So they gotta like test you. They gotta like run a physical. They kind of like document how you came into the facility. You know, um, and then they gotta fake protect you. The same way you came in basically is the same way you kind of like gotta leave. So they just run like these exams. So you be in the infirmary all day basically for like the whole first day, but like so you don't really get to do much on your first day, but like you get to see people, you get to hear, you get to just like visualize what the hell is going on. And I remember like during most of my time in the infirmary, it was like mad alarms going off. Like an alarm is like is a distress call. So usually like an officer, the COs on Rikers Island, they get like this little pin. We call it the pin. And they pull the pin, right? Or they press the button, and it's like it sends a distress call, like meaning that they need help, and like more officers come to the housing unit or in whatever area that officer is that needs help. So usually after fights, during fights or like stabbings or whatever the situation is, officer in danger, whatever the case is, they press the pin, and the whole squad go over there, right? They call them the turtles. So as I'm in the infirmary, in the clinic, just waiting to get seen or whatever by the doctors or the nurses or whatever. It's like mad alarms going off. So I'm just sitting there like, man, like what the hell is going on? Like, you just see people suit up, they put the helmets on and like the shields and the gear, and they're going to like mad different places. So like as I'm sitting there waiting for mad long, I just see people coming in with broken jaws, like bleeding, like all type of stuff, right? So I'm just sitting there like, oh, this shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and mind you, I'm 18 years old, so like I'm just like visualizing, I'm just like taking this stuff in, and then like people, we be so bored in the infirmary that people just start talking to each other. They're like, oh, so where you from? Like, what's your charge? And whatever, what you here for? Or like, you banging. Some people might ask you if you banging, but you don't really hear that until you get to the housing unit. So I met this dude, he was an older dude, and he was asking me like, you know, he seemed pretty cool, so he was just talking to me. He was just like, yo, like, this your first time here? And I was like, yeah, I've never been here, whatever. So he basically was trying to put me on. Like, he was just like, yo, I've been here a few times. I've been in your situation with the youngins. And he was just saying, like, he asked me if I was banging. I was like, yeah, I'm banging. And then he was just like, and then he asked me what I was banging. And then I was like, I'm Crip. And then he was just like, he's like, I ain't gonna lie, man, you about to have a rough ride. So I was just like, it is what it is, man. It's rough in the streets too, you heard? So he was just like, all right, I hear it. So he was just like, look, man. Basically, he was just telling me, like, look, man, when you go in the house, they gonna test you, man. Especially y'all young, you're in adolescence, and you gang banging. He was like, yo, them young boys are gonna test you. You know, he was just like, I advise you go in there and beat somebody up. He said, beat somebody up bad. He said, and the good thing is, he said, they're gonna respect it. You feel me? Like, he said, you know, they might jump you or maybe not. He said, nah, most likely they're gonna jump you. He was like, but they will respect you and what you did, and this is kind of like how you build your credibility. You know what I'm saying? Like when you come in here, and I was just like looking at this shit like, damn, I gotta go beat somebody up or get jumped and all this shit, right? But he was just telling me like, you know, after that, you know, I'm not saying that other stuff not gonna happen, but he was just saying like, yo, just be aware. He was just saying like, just don't really trust nobody, don't really talk about your case like that. And he was just saying like, you know, and just beware your surroundings, man. And he was just like, work out and do what you got to do, man. But he was just saying like, always be on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like, you don't really got no friends in here. He was like, you know, that's the sad reality. So I was an intake that I don't even know how long I was in the damn infirmary, but like in the infirmary, I didn't really talk to other people like that, but like there was other people that were there, like, and we kind of like briefly spoke, and then they moved me after the infirmary. They moved me to the intake house, and then when I was in the intake house, it's just like a whole bunch of beds and stuff like that. So I remember like, damn, like I'm really on Rikers Island. This shit is crazy, like, you know. And I was just with a whole bunch of random people. It didn't really feel like jail at that time because there was a lot of young kids and we was all young. And I remember getting on the phone. I can't remember who I called. I can't remember if I called my mom. Well, my mom was actually home when I got locked up. So my mom knew I was locked up. So it's not like it was oblivious to her. But I can't remember if I called my mom or if I called my girl. I think I probably called my girl because my mom already knew I was locked up. Or maybe I called my mom. I'm not really so sure. But I remember getting on the phone and I was just like, damn, man, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I got arraigned and my bail was like $50,000. So I knew I was going to be here for a little bit. But yeah, that night, not much really happened. Like, it was just the intake stuff, and it was just the nervous shit going on, and I didn't know what to expect. But like, it's not really that much of a good story, I guess. But it's a story. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out my other videos. Peace.